Yapping.
Hello, this is Erika.
And Edgar.
And we are the Yapping Schnauzers. We entertain you with yap-worthy stories we find around the web. Today's theme is Workplace Foolery. The first story is, co-worker and I live in the same apartment complex. She's been approaching me at home for a ride to work, unplanned and uninvited.
Bro.
My coworker just moved into the same apartment complex where I live in. She lives quite away, but still a walking distance from me. Last week Thursday, I was walking to my vehicle and I hear my name being screamed many times through the air. It was my coworker from her balcony. She was yelling something else that I couldn't quite hear, but I also was leaving work and didn't have time to stop by, so she was needing a ride to work. That Friday, she was screaming my name as she's walking towards me from her apartment building, yelling that she needed a ride to work. I told her that I could bring her, but I couldn't bring her home, and I won't be able to bring her this week. Honestly, I'm not comfortable at all with her just showing up at my vehicle and expecting a ride, nor screaming my name from afar. It's not a proper way to act. She was getting a ride from a other coworker, but they got into a tiff. Her supervisor has offered to pick her up before. I've been thinking today that this is going to happen again tomorrow, and I'm sorry to say, but even if I'm headed straight to work, I won't be giving her a ride. I'm a loner and I like being by myself on the ride to and from work. And I'm just thankful that I don't park anywhere near my building because I could see her just showing up unannounced, screaming my name until she found my apartment. It's just weird to me. We're not at work. This is where I live, and I would like my personal time and space to be respected. We should see how the week goes.
Hopefully there's a part 2. But yeah, I think
There
it's
is.
pretty fair. Oh, there is. But yeah, I think it's fair for him to not want to be like someone's like chauffeur. Like I definitely wouldn't want that. Because I understand the having the me time before and after. Because like work is just draining.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you shouldn't just assume and yell and be like, hey, give me a ride. Like, at least talk to somebody, ask permission, not across, like, in a balcony all the way up and yelling. Like, I don't know. It doesn't seem right.
Yeah, it seems off. I mean, it would be more understandable if they're related, but it's just like work acquaintances. So it's just like she's basically a stranger.
She is. I wouldn't be comfortable with asking some random coworker that I don't even like really know for a ride, even if she lives or he lives there.
Yeah. They'd have to be like a really good friend of mine, but even then, I would still be hesitant, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, say I was having troubles with my car or something, I'd be like, all right, I'll give you gas. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Like, it's just one of those things where you shouldn't just assume that they're just going to help you for free. I mean, it doesn't matter if they're related or not. He could also tell her, hey, I don't feel comfortable. Maybe today I can give you that ride, but from now on, I won't be able to. Or whatever. He could give an excuse, but just be upfront with her too. He doesn't have to just, tiptoe around her either.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably setting boundaries about
exactly
like ride sharing would be necessary in this case.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see how the week goes for this dude.
But there is an update, and it says she didn't show up at my vehicle today. She told me at work that she found a work band company to use, which is great. My reasoning are below why I didn't want to start giving her rides every day or why I don't want to get too close outside of work for those who thought I was being rude, selfish, or mean, which we're not going to go into because it's another huge paragraph, but paragraphs. But yes, at least she was able to find another way of transportation to her job.
Yeah. And a good thing too, like that they didn't like try to like set up an accommodation to like have him take her to work. Because if they did that, then even with the other option, they would just keep on like hanging out in that case.
Yeah. I mean, it's completely different if you're your friend or somebody or it's a little bit much better. But even then it gets like awkward, especially if it's a coworker that you don't really know. So the top comment is, you need to be direct about this. People are so afraid to just speak up and say no. Instead of being passive-aggressive and tiptoeing around issues, now you don't mention whether or not you two work within the same department or how turning her down may impact the workplace. Honestly, it shouldn't matter. You need to say that you're not going to give her rides to and from work. If she wants to tell a reason, tell her, I have a 5-year-old because I said no, then walk away. It is awkward and uncomfortable to be direct. Yes. Is it better than inevitably feeling like a hostage in your own apartment complex? Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think that his best bet was just to be direct with her in the beginning. He might come off as an asshole, but I mean, it's really his choice.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to give her a ride.
Better an asshole than being like a doormat.
Yeah, it's just about comfort. If he didn't feel comfortable, then that's it. She could find another way.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, final verdict.
No, I would say he's not the asshole. I mean, it worked out then, anyways.
Yeah. Lucky for him, yeah, it worked out. The next story is titled Total Wine Would Not Sell Me the specific wine I drove 60 miles for because they claim I was with someone else who left and they need to see ID for that person. I was alone, so I made a mobile order of 10K and never picked it up. I got mad all over again writing this because of the sheer amount of disrespect from Total Wine Management. I have a receipt for this order as well. There's a specific wine I used to pair with food. The closest Total Wine that had it was a 60-mile drive, and it was storming out, and I want it for the holidays because most likely this was going to be cooped up inside. Most likely I was going to be cooped up inside. So I drive over. This used to be my typical Total Wine until I moved 2 counties away. Anyways, I go in and pick up the wine and get some other stuff for holiday parties. And I was in there maybe an hour and it came time to check out and the cashier asked me for my ID. So I give it to her and then she tells me she needs to see the ID of the other person I was with. So now I'm confused and say I'm alone. And she says, "Well, I have to go get my manager." Okay, fine. So he comes out to tell me that she told him I was with someone and they need to come back and bring their ID or they won't sell it to me. I told him I wasn't with anyone. He asked to see my ID, looks at it, and says, "Well, unfortunately, you look young." At this point, I'm like, "Are you serious?" And he's like, "You can come back tomorrow alone." And I find it extremely disrespectful to tell someone they look young while you're holding their ID in your hand. And not to mention, I've been shopping at the exact location for about 4 years and have never had a problem. So I told him about how I drove there and have been shopping there for years and that I even have a second form of ID, and he was just kind of giggling and saying no. So I left very angry and it was late around 9 p.m. Then I had about an hour and a half drive back home in the rainstorm. So I was home pissed about it all night, and the next day I went in to the one close to my house to get the other stuff. Unfortunately, that one was out of wine. That's why I didn't originally go there. And they were pleasant as usual, actually beyond nice, and didn't even ID me, which just goes to show the other location was on some kind of power trip or something. Then I got an email from them to review my experience, which they send every time I go there, and I never do it. But I needed to select the location I had a bad experience at and give feedback on it. So I wrote exactly what happened, and then the next day I got a call from the store manager. Turns out the guy that night was an assistant manager or something. However, he was much more pleasant than the woman that called me. She was extremely rude and condescending and told me that she reviewed the cameras and that someone walked in with me at the same time and that made us a party. I told her I didn't know them. She said it didn't matter, so apparently people can't walk in to Total Wine at the same time as you. Then she said that the employees were watching me and that the person left 30 minutes before I went to check out and they saw it. Okay, and if that is the case and that is your policy, why didn't you just say something when you saw the person leave and we could have cleared up the whole situation right then and there? Instead of continuing to allow me to shop for another 30 minutes and waste my time to know that when I came to check out, you were going to deny it. So I told her, even if that is the case, someone can't leave a store. And she said no. To complete the transaction, they would have to drive back with their ID. This made me extremely angry because even if that is the case and that is your policy, at least you can offer an apology for the inconvenience. Not just call me to argue and stir the pot. I was already kind of over it because it had been like 2 days, but just the whole attitude and nastiness about the whole thing was really insult to injury. So I decided to look up their policy, and the policy clearly states that this only applies to parties at checkout. So the rule is who is with you at checkout, which that makes sense or is at least more understandable. Another policy I read, which was interesting, was that Any online order not picked up within a week, they will issue a full refund to your original payment method. So my friends and I were sitting home drinking the stuff that I got from the other location later that day and told them what happened, and they were all shook. So my friends and I were sitting at home drinking the stuff I had got at the other location. Later on, I told them what happened, and they were all shook. I know people who work at retail specifically during COVID, and I know what an inconvenience it is to set up big curbside pickup orders because they take up a lot of space on the order shelf. So, drunk and mad, I decided to enforce their own policies on them and make a $10,000 order for the soonest possible pickup time, which they had promised would be ready in 3 hours. So I made sure to order the cheapest, heaviest bottles I could think of so it can take up the most amount of space in the curbside. And I made sure to order like 1 or 2 of each so they couldn't just give me a case. And I know when customers saw it, they would ask for it, and then they would have to explain how someone ordered all 238 bottles back there on reserve. Then they'll probably get grouchy and ask for a manager. But the manager would be busy because I also made sure to order a lot of bottles behind glass, so they would have to run around with their keys, scrambling to get the order ready. And I worked in retail, and I know how much stuff like this throws off a schedule and annoys the managers. So I loaded up the cart and stopped when I got bored and placed the order. I got the email confirmation, which specified that you had to wait for the pickup confirmation email, and that pickup times aren't guaranteed, so I thought for sure they were either going to cancel the order or call me or something. And something interesting that is sent with the email is a pickup policy that states specifically the recipient of the order needs to be 21, so you can have other people in your cart not 21. Well, 5 hours later, I got the pickup email. It took them longer, but I still was surprised. Then later, I got a pickup reminder email. Then 3 days later, a second reminder email. Then 7 days, I got my final notice email. And then day 10, I got a phone call. It was the manager acting like a completely different person this time, asking when I was coming for the order. At this point, I think she knew I was messing with them because it had been 10 days and she knew my name from the previous feedback thing. Because when she called, she asked for me by name and my name was on the order. So I told her, yeah, I went to pick it up and was told I looked too young. So I just went to the other Total Wine and picked up the same stuff there. So then she was mad and said, are you seriously not coming to pick this up? And I said, nah. And she hung up. When your higher ups ask you why your store had to refund someone $10,000, explain to them what you did. They were supposed to automatically cancel the order at the 7-day mark, but didn't. She called me at the 10-day mark. So I called their customer service line to cancel it, and she told me some stores wait to the end of the month to do it. I'm assuming the manager was trying to hold out on refunding, but I made them cancel it right then and there.
I think there was so much work for a petty revenge.
Mm-hmm.
It was too long. I think he just should have just never gone back there, and that's it.
Yeah, I
Simple as
mean,
that.
I think that's kind of illegal, but I'm not really sure. It just sounds illegal.
For what they did.
No, what the OP did.
Oh,
Like basically it's like some sort of fraud. I mean, yeah, again, I think it's just like unnecessary amount of like work and effort to like mess with somebody or mess with like a store, even though like the store was like pretty like terrible, like in how they treated him.
yeah. I mean, like, how are you gonna say, "Oh, you came with that person" just because you walked in at the same time?
I think they were trying to cover their tracks, but also they didn't want to admit they were wrong, which they were very obviously wrong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had a chance to fix it. I don't understand why they didn't take it.
Yeah. I mean, also it was the assistant manager, so probably they were like probably half power tripping, half didn't want to seem like they were wrong in the situation where they clearly were.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't think OP's response was like reasonable though at all.
No, it was too much, dude. That's too much energy.
I know. I mean, I can tell he or she has like nothing else going on in their life.
Yeah, I mean, I would not waste my time like doing the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I would just let it go.
Exactly. I mean, I feel like this entire situation was it probably took them at least 1 or 2 weeks.
Oh, definitely.
Like, this is
For
probably all
sure.
they talked about. Like this was their entire personality.
For a couple weeks at least.
Or if
All right, so the top comment is Total Wine Management always are on a power trip. A friend had just left the checkout line A shopping cart full of 4th of July party. Management grabbed his cart before he could leave and yelled that he needed to pay. He told them he did pay, and if they didn't let him leave, he was going to return the whole cart. And no, he wouldn't show them the receipt like they asked. Had they asked nicely for a receipt, he would have showed them. But violently grabbing the cart was enough for him. He returned the whole cart while the manager tried to apologize and talk him out of it. I mean, imagine, like, you literally pay, you have receipt. I mean, the cashier is right there and you're exiting and then somebody just stops the cart, like, oh, you have to pay for that.
RIP.
Like, yeah, I don't blame him for wanting to return all that.
Yeah. It's unfortunate because I do hear a lot of stories that, like, a lot of Total Wines aren't the best places to get your stuff just because of the employees. Even though they have, like, everything.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Oh, okay. So there is another comment with another story. It says, a few years ago, I was at a liquor store buying wine and liquor for a party. While I was walking around grabbing bottles, there was a guy following and watching me like a hawk. I tried to ignore him because I just wanted to get my crap and leave. Well, as I was walking to the refrigerator that has all the mixers, which is located right at the exit, the dude ran at me and grabbed my basket. He then started going on about how I am a thief and I was obviously trying to make a run for it because I was at the exit. No, dude, I'm just trying to grab some cranberry juice. He kind of paused for a second and let me go. I still end up buying my wine because I didn't feel like going to another store. I haven't been there since. And like it's just and then there's other stories that it was just like back to back, like just terrible situations where they just were blaming them for doing nothing.
I mean, I always get carded over there, but
you look like you're 12.
Exactly. I think there's one time I forgot my ID, and I was like, dang. And I had like a picture of my ID in my phone, but they wouldn't accept it. And
no, you need to.
Total Wine for me was like, at least when I lived where I used to live, was like 15 minutes drive. So like, obviously I didn't get anything.
Yeah.
Oh, and remember that other time we went to Total Wine, but you didn't have your ID?
Yeah, and I went to the car and grabbed it.
No, you didn't have your ID.
Oh, I left it in the house. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I had my ID, and I was carded. So yeah, obviously, like, I showed them my ID, but you didn't have your ID. But since you were with me and you didn't have your ID, they couldn't sell it to us.
Yeah, that was so annoying. I really wanted my wine.
Exactly. It wasn't like we were going crazy. We were just gonna get.
We
like,
literally had two.
Yeah,
we had two bottles.
Yeah, we wanted to just have like a nice Friday night or whatever.
Yeah, just low key.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they wouldn't sell it to us, and I'm like, bro.
I know. I mean, like I said, they didn't accept because I had a picture of my ID and stuff, but they didn't care.
And it's not like where we live. The closest Total Wine is like 30 minutes away.
30-ish minutes, but in traffic, yeah.
Yeah,
that was not worth it.
There was no way we were gonna like drive back home, and that was like an afterthought too. But still.
Yeah, it does suck. If they were like better with customer service, they would literally be making more money. I feel like a lot of people at least would go to different stores instead of going to that one. At least whatever happened to OP, I would never return to that one, regardless if they had my favorite wine or not.
But the thing is, Total Wine, I feel like, is one of the bigger wine places, at least like in like where we live. Yeah. Just because it has like everything.
That's correct.
So they can kind of like afford to be like dickish like this, since they like there's no really other options. For what they have. But also, like, in a lot of states, in like a lot of places, like in the United States, like laws around liquor is like very, very strict.
I know.
So they probably just like they rather trust themselves than trust the customer at all times.
That's true. I mean, it is tricky. I mean, I think around here there was a wine. No, it was just like a liquor store where they got closed because they were selling to minors where we live.
I mean, yeah, that place. I don't even know how that even happened. Because, like, for me, they always, like, carded me hard.
I know, for real.
For other people, they didn't card at all. And then so they had a tea about this place. I won't name it for libel reasons. And they were first in trouble because they were selling to minors. But then their business, like, the person who owned it, was banned from running a liquor store because they were trying to erase the evidence right after.
Yeah.
Which I assume means that they were trying to erase, like, footage or all that stuff. So now they had to sell the entire business.
Yeah. It's a tricky business. Why are you selling to minors, first of all? I mean, I know. So this is like a college campus nearby, but, still, why would you want to risk your business for that?
I mean, that's their only customers probably, but also not a good look.
Yeah, definitely not.
Mhm.
All
So
right.
your final verdict on this story?
I would say he just put too much effort. I don't. I mean, I don't think he's the asshole, but I think he just put too much effort on petty revenge.
Nah, OP is an asshole. Like
You think so?
Yeah, I can see him in hell. Like he's gonna go into heaven's gates, and they're gonna be like, "Okay, do you remember when this happened?"
I don't know. I think he just should have just let it go.
Mm-hmm.
It
But
would've-
also his spelling and punctuation and grammar was atrocious. It was like so difficult to read that the whole passage.
And it was so long.
Mm-hmm.
It was so long.
It could have been a small text, TBH.
I think the title said it all, honestly.
Basically, I could have just read the title and then that's it.
All right, so the next story is dyed my hair blue so my boss would stop blaming me for hair in customers' food. I used to work for a sandwich shop. All the other employees there were Indian women with very long black hair. Mine was short of similar, I suppose, medium length and brown. But every time a customer would complain about long black hair in the food, my boss would immediately blame me without any hesitation or investigation, despite the fact that I was the only person who wore my hair up and netted. So one day I dyed my hair blue, with the sole purpose of not being blamed for black hair being in the food. You guessed it, it happened. And how huffy and annoyed my boss got when I said it couldn't be my hair because mine is blue was beyond amusing.
Low-key, OP the genius.
I'm not gonna go into that, but I definitely, I mean, it's ridiculous that the boss continued to blame her, even though she's the only one that had her hair up and netted. Like, how is it her hair?
I don't know. I mean, definitely just like favoritism or like maybe the like family or something like that.
Yeah, probably. She was probably one of the outsider, I guess, and always blamed her for everything.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what are they gonna do now? Like, that she has blue hair, they can't like blame her. They
No,
gotta,
that's why the boss was mad because they couldn't blame her anymore.
you know, they gotta now. He has to actually enforce it with
Yeah.
with those people.
That's gross.
And I can imagine they didn't care. Like there was other workers with the long hair probably didn't care. They were like, nah, just putting their like nasty hands and hair all over the place.
I don't know about you, but I can always tell when there's something in my food because I always look at my food and I always see like eyelashes or
Ew.
like hair. Or this is one time I was in Subway and because I always open up my sandwich because I don't know, I'm always like I can't. So I open up and there was a fly in there.
R.I.P.
So like I seriously have like the worst luck, or I'm so cautious I always find crap in my stuff in my food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you missed out on essential proteins from the bug.
Ew, no! I almost barfed. I was like, oh my god, I could have eaten that.
I'm not that cautious. I just
everything.
When I'm hungry, I'm hungry. But I'm now on a diet.
Oh my
I lost
god.
4 pounds in the past month.
Oh man, I really don't think it needs to be a diet, but you know, it's what makes you happy.
Yes, I shove you a stick.
You're already a steak. What you mean?
Bug's Life, the movie.
Yes, Bugs Life.
Remember that stick? That stick bug? That movie me.
Is the one that looks like the wood?
Yeah. I have a picture of him in the mirror. Take a look at him every morning.
You're so funny.
But yeah, so top comment.
I called my bright pink hair my food safety hair.
Boo.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that means.
Me either.
How much?
It had 6,000 likes.
6,000 people below IQ.
I don't understand that.
It's an inside joke. We just don't get it.
Yeah, I guess not. If somebody knows, explain it in the comments.
Por favor.
Please and thank you.
But yeah, final verdict.
I would say she's smart. I mean, it's ridiculous that she had to do that. The boss was just being an asshole. He's definitely the asshole here.
Yeah, AOP is not the asshole, and I give props to her, and hopefully she gets a good 6-figure job after this.
Definitely.
Definitely is smart enough for it. So the next story is titled "Cab Drivers Rip Me to Shreds," thinking I can't understand him, but I can't. I'll read it again. The next story is titled "Cab Driver Rips Me to Shreds," thinking I can't understand him, but I can. Obligatory just happened several years ago. A few months after I had moved to Chicago, I had moved there from Romania, where I'd been living and going to school. I love Romania. People are great. Drop what you're doing and visit. Anyways, while I was there, due to my living situation, I had to learn the language fast and thoroughly. Not many people around me spoke English outside of uni. Uh, so fast forward to the few months after I arrived in Chicago. Imagine my surprise when the driver of the Uber I had ordered appeared to have a Romanian name. The area had a lot of Eastern Europeans, so I guess it shouldn't have been so surprising. And I was very excited to talk to him and make sure I wasn't getting rusty. Maybe make a friend. Up pulls the guy. I get in. He greets me, but he appears to be on the phone with a buddy, family member, so I just sit quietly in the back, listening in a bit. The person on the other end asked if the driver is getting off work soon. He responded with something like the following: "No, I still have a few hours left. Then I'll go home. Right now, I have someone in the car. God, I hate this country. The women here are so fat and ugly. At least this one has a nice chest, but why can't she lose some weight?" And he goes on and on about all the problems with me and other American women. And now I've always been a bit on the chonky side, and you best believe the Romanians love to comment on it, so I was used to it. But I was a bit shocked that this guy was going off like that. Anyways, I'm just kind of sitting bemused in the back seat as we near my destination. Then I tell him in Romanian, with all my might, trying to pull off the distinct accent of the region I had been living in, "Can you just pull over there on the right?" I swear this guy's head did the Exorcist girl head move, and he turned a shade of red I have seen nowhere else in nature. He didn't say anything, just pulled over. When I got out, I said thanks and added, "You're not attractive, and you're also fat, so maybe you shouldn't make comments like that." I have never again reached such a level of self-pride.
Yeah, he deserved that. Every bit of that.
I mean, it's good to know a lot of languages.
It does,
Mhm.
and especially when you think people don't think you understand, but you do. Is amazing.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to learn Chinese, and Japanese, and
You first
Vietnamese.
need to learn Spanish, okay? You
I
need
know,
to
I
learn
know how
Spanish.
to. I can understand it. I just can't speak it.
You say you understand it, but not really.
Actually, I understand several languages. There's just languages that computers can speak. That's all. That's where all my mentalness is going towards.
You mean coding,
Yeah,
but
I
I'm
know
talking
too
about
many languages.
speaking.
I know 20 languages.
Oh my god. Yeah, but you should definitely learn Spanish first before you start learning any other language.
I mean, I used to know Russian. Yeah, I had it almost as a minor.
Why you say almost?
Then they scrapped the Russian minor at the very last year.
Oh, then that really sucks.
So I took like 1 to 3 classes a year of Russian every year, because like I wanted to have it like as like the back burner while I was like studying, and then the very last year they canceled it, like almost the last semester,
Oh my god.
because
It
it was run by one guy. He was gay and very flamboyant and very funny. I remember the first day I wasn't there because I was late to class, but my friends told me, my friends told me that they were all waiting for the professor to come in to class, and he came in like 15 minutes late, and he was like all red and stuff, and he was like, "If I die, tell my husband I love him." Apparently he was choking on something from like lunch.
Oh my god, and he went walking like that to class?
Yeah, and then he like ran back, and then like 10 minutes later he came back, but all composed, and then he went into his intro.
That's crazy.
But yeah, the whole Russian department was ran by this one guy, but he was always complaining at the end of every class, like, yeah, they make me like this. I'm basically doing 2 jobs and getting paid like part-time, because he had to run the program, make the curriculum, and then also teach.
Oh dang, that's a lot for one person.
Yeah, like he has to do all the administrative work too, since he was like basically the lead of a minor / department.
Oh my god. Well, no wonder I got cancer. Probably got sick of it.
Yeah, he was like very sick of it. I mean, like he loved the language and he loved like teaching it, and then we were all pretty chill with him. But yeah, he was like definitely like it was like unlivable, especially in New York City.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, I still have him on Facebook, but yeah, I haven't talked to him for a long time.
Oh, but that's pretty cool. I like that. I think it's amazing that people can learn up to 4 languages, 5 languages, and it's like insane. So if anybody has that gift, amazing. I wish.
Duolingo. I mean, yeah. Once I have a mansion, then I'll start learning languages again. Because I remember in college, I used to learn a lot of languages just because I had the Russian, and then Russian like helped me like feel more confident about learning other languages.
Well, I mean, Russian's pretty hard to learn.
Yeah, it's like yeah. How you learn languages like it's dependent on what you know already. Like if you know English, like other Roman languages like Spanish, and like the other like Roman languages or love languages, whatever. I forget the exact term. You can pick it up a lot easier. But Russian is a Slavic, or like it's just like basically a total different like
Yeah.
kind of like branch of languages. So it's a lot different, the grammar and like the spelling and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. I
You
mean,
have to like learn a whole different alphabet.
yeah, I mean, French and even Italian, it's a little bit similar to Spanish. So
Mm-hmm.
you could have some words there that you could understand. But yeah, Russian is a whole different page. Mm-mm. I love other languages, so I love hearing people with different accents speak. I think it's amazing.
Mm-hmm. I know you want to learn like Korean.
Yeah, I know a little bit of words just
Yeah.
because I watch my Korean dramas.
Yeah, all day, every day.
All day, every
Whole
day.
shows.
Really? No, I have them in the background. I usually have something in the background while I'm doing something, cleaning, doing something. All right, so the top comment is, I live for this brand of revenge. People shouldn't assume they're safe to talk crap just because it's not in English.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if you're even, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're good looking or if you're not. You shouldn't be judging anybody else's appearance. It doesn't matter, because if you point a finger, everybody, some 5, 6, 7 people are pointing at you. So just let it be.
Yeah.
Okay.
So final thoughts.
No, he got what he deserved 100%.
Yeah, OP is definitely not the asshole. Massage. What's it called again? The pedicure ladies. They're next. They're next on the list.
Oh my gosh, I've seen so many videos where you have a random person that knows Mandarin or whatever, and they're like, "Why are you talking to me about?" Like, it's just crazy. I think it's well deserved when they get talked like that, because there's no need for that. All right, so the last story is, am I the asshole for letting my daughter flaunt her expensive items? I, 50 female, and my husband, 48 male, have a daughter, Danica. 21.
Rename her.
I'm just calling her D. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Who has been...
No, say Danica.
Danica.
Yeah.
That's, I don't know, it doesn't roll off the tongue for some reason.
It sounds funny.
It does. I mean, that's pretty cool, unique name, but I don't know.
I know if she was a boy, they'd call her Danica. I'm pretty sure they wanted a boy. And they had that name all set up, Danica. And then it came out as a girl.
I mean, it does sound better with Danica, not Danica.
Danica. But yeah, Danica now. Remember how I said if we have children, I want, if it's a guy, I want it to be named Edgar. But if it's a girl, Edgar.
Absolutely not.
Same vibes.
It's not gonna happen. Okay. Back to the story. Danica, 21 female who has been extremely independent her whole life. Danica began working when she was 15, and now she works part-time in a large corporation while pursuing her studies. We are extremely proud of her and how hard she has worked. We generally allow her to manage her own finances, and she insists on contributing monthly to family expenses with the money she earns. Danica occasionally likes to make pricier purchases, which I do not have any concern over, as I think they are sensible financial choices. Like last year, she decided to purchase the newest MacBook as her old laptop was on the last leg, and she wanted something reliable and long-lasting, or when she bought a Marc Jacobs bag for work and university. We recently went on a family trip with my brother and his family, who have 2 kids of their own, Tammy, 20 female, and Nick, 23 male. Mind you, they're in their 20s. Mm-hmm. His kids and Danica aren't exactly close, but they get along fine for the most part. I know that Tammy and Nick do not have any source of income besides my brother and have not worked a day in their life. During the trip, Danica would occasionally pay for 3 of them for small things like drinks or food. When we were shopping, Danica brought a few items for herself and picked up gifts she wanted to bring for her friends. During dinner that night, my sister-in-law, brother's wife, told my husband and me that we were spoiling Danica too much with her purchases. We explained that Danica earned her own money and every cent came from her job. Sister-in-law then proceeded to point and tell Danica that if that was the case, she shouldn't be flaunting her purchases and items in front of her cousins, who don't have cushy little office job, and parents who spoiled her into this person she is. Danica apologized politely and saying that she didn't mean to flaunt her things, but I could tell that she was upset and embarrassed. My husband stood up and shut back, saying that Danica shouldn't have to apologize for her own hard work. I also pointed out that Danica had been financially independent since she was 15, and that we've only done our best not to spoil her. Sister-in-law then proceeded to tell us that we weren't teaching her how to manage her finances correctly, and that all this money had turned her into a little brat. Danica excused herself to the bathroom and it texted that she had gone back to the hotel. We had a tense back and forth for the rest of the dinner, and we came back to finding Danica crying in her hotel room. I called my brother, hoping that he is able to talk to his wife, but he explained that for the past few days, Tammy had been crying to her parents about not having what Danica had. She had been whining to her mom that she wanted the newest MacBook as well, but she refused to get it for her. Myself, Danica, and my husband have been getting calls from the rest of the family, some calling us assholes, and some who were willing to hear us out and understand where we were coming from. So, am I the asshole?
No, not at all. Like at first, I was under the impression that Danica would be a little bit of an asshole, but it looks like she just likes nice stuff, and it's not like she was like showing it off. Like I can't imagine her doing that. It just seemed like she always buys like nice things every once in a while, and she's on vacation, so of course she wants to get something nice for herself
or
and
friends.
for like friends as well. But it does say a lot about like the brother, I guess OP's brother, and like their family situation. It seems like they, I don't want to say they were ways not right, but they haven't like launched off as Danica had.
Yeah, I mean she's been
And
working
now they
since
just have
15.
like a lot of envy. Yeah, like yeah, Danica being financially independent at like 15 is like pretty like nice for like anyone. Like you'd be pretty proud if like your own 15-year-old was like that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, in order to get that job or get a good office job, you need to work hard. It's not just handed to you.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that she's able to buy her expensive stuff and even help around with expenses in the house is amazing.
Yeah.
And she's responsible. So who is she to tell her what she should be doing with her hard-earned work money? Especially if the sister-in-law doesn't even work.
Mm-hmm.
Only her brother or the brother does.
Yeah.
So why is she talking about flaunting what she doesn't have? Then you should work too if you feel like you don't have enough money. You know what I mean? Like it's just crazy to me. And if she's not working, I would understand. For me, it would be like, okay, maybe the kids are young, but they're in their 20s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like they're still like 2023 is like college age, like just out of college, so I can still see like if they're not making like the amount of money Danica's making, but like still, it's just like Danica was also paying for their meals apparently in that vacation, so it seems like she was just trying to be nice and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's just like a case of just envy.
Yeah, it definitely is.
When you should just be more inspired, or at least just consider,
thankful.
Thankful at the very least, but also consider that you can also like be this like well off if you put the work into it.
Exactly.
But instead, they just chose to like just throw them all under the bus.
Yeah, berate her for what? For having nice things and having a good job? Like that's not her fault.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was completely unreasonable. And the fact that the kids are whining and saying, I want a new MacBook, like they seem like they're the ones that are spoiled, not Danica. And then also I wanted to just add a little, they said Danica so many times that I was just like if they said Danica one more time in the story, it was crazy. Okay. So the top comment is, so two grown adults complain to their parents about what a third grown adult has bought with their own money. Do they not realize how pathetic that sounds? Not the asshole. Your daughter has done nothing wrong.
Yeah, basically, that's how you boil down the story.
Exactly. There was just no reason for that. And if they want to get something, buy it for themselves.
Yeah. It's like a little bit unfortunate, but like not every family, not every person in life or in this planet is going to be like successful like that, or they're not going to be able to like want to be like put the effort to like have nice things like that.
Yeah, definitely.
They rather just complain.
Yeah, and then make themselves victims. And I think it's unfortunate, but I mean, you choose your own path regardless if you're born rich or if you're not. You could, if you work hard work, you can make anything happen.
Yeah, hard work or high risk.
Yeah.
For your final verdict?
I would say no. You are not the asshole. She did not do anything wrong. And she didn't even flaunt anything. She was just doing her own thing.
Yeah. Maybe that just looks like flaunting to people, to them.
I guess. I mean, like, I would be like, oh, you go. I don't know. I guess because I'm very supportive. Like, if I would see someone like that, I'd be like, oh, girl, that's good. Like, I would be happy for that person, not jealous. Like, dude.
I don't know. Well, I'm not really one to notice all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if someone, like, showed up with, like, a jacket made out of tiger, I wouldn't even notice.
Yes, because you're a guy. But for me, like I said, like I wouldn't even, I wouldn't be jealous. I would just be happy for that person, especially if they're family. Like, there's no need to have envy. That's all the stories we have today. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode. Check out our website, www.yappings.com, and join our mail list for updates. If you love our podcast and want to support us, subscribe and share it to your friends and family. We would appreciate it so much.
Also, we have a Facebook group called AITA-Relationship and Family Drama, linked in the description. Join so you can share Am I the Asshole posts you like, or share your own stories for us all to judge. We may even read a few posts in one of our episodes.
Thank you. Bye.